Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Here.
Mr. Coghill. Ms. Gross. Mr. Mosley. Mrs. Salinetro. Mrs. Salinetro.
Here.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Here.
Mrs. Warwick. Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Here.
6 members present.
Thank you. For those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend?
So move.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The agenda has been amended. Our next order of business is proclamations. We have 2 to be read into the record.
Councilmember Warwick presents. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does recognize Lieutenant Commander Budd's distinguished career involving many aspects of law enforcement and thanks him for his lifetime of service to the City of Pittsburgh and to the country and wishes him a happy retirement. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Saturday, February 28th, to be Lieutenant Commander Barry Budd Day in the City of Pittsburgh. And Councilmember Wilson presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh recognizes and honors Ronald Carter Jr. for his outstanding accomplishments in athletics and public service and commends the example he continues to set for future generations. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Saturday, February 28th, 2026 to be Ronald Carter Jr. Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Proclamations have been approved. Our next order of business is public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which may be before City Council. Profanity will not be permitted. After you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Chief Pomai Chakman Yahalihi. I do not see them online. Our next registered speaker is Ajmel Matson.
I'm here.
You may begin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm Agile Mateen. I live in Highland Park neighborhood. I'm a local startup founder, and I conducted an independent fiduciary diagnostic as part of my executive MBA practicum at the University of Pittsburgh. So over the past few months, I audited the IRS financial disclosures of our region's tax-exempt economic development ecosystem. My objective was to assess capital deployment efficiency across the city. The primary finding of this practicum is this: Pittsburgh does not suffer from a liquidity crisis. It suffers from a structural capital allocation failure driven by institutional hoarding and extreme administrative bloat. If you look at the operational models of our state-funded intermediaries, the data reveals severe administrative friction. Innovation Works, our primary startup engine, operates with a negative multiplier, spending $1.06 on internal overhead for every dollar deployed to the market. Concurrently, the Allegheny Conference presents a grant maker inversion, spending $1.74 in internal payroll for every dollar distributed. Furthermore, I've identified significant capital leakage into non-productive closed-loop ecosystems. 501c3 charitable funds are being utilized to subsidize private 501c7 infrastructure, specifically executive dues with the Duquesne Club. In the private sector, overhead ratios of this magnitude and private asset transfers would trigger an immediate organizational restructuring. Here they are subsidized by the public goodwill. So my ask for municipal intervention is identifying the inefficiency is only step one. Step two is implementation. while this council does not write federal tax code, you possess total authority over municipal land use, public financing, and city procurement. Therefore, I'm formally requesting this council draft and execute 3 specific ordinances within your immediate jurisdiction. Number 1, leverage your zoning authority. I'm asking you to mandate a fair share compliance check before this council approves any institutional master plans or zoning variances for universities and healthcare conglomerates. The institution must certify that their executive compensation ratio does not exceed 50x their lowest paid worker. If they fail the test, the zoning permit is denied. Number 2, leverage your public finance authority. I'm asking to place an immediate moratorium on all pending tax increment financing packages, specifically for foundation-owned real estate like Almano LP at Hazelwood Green. Not a single municipal tax dollar should subsidize their infrastructure until they demonstrate a 10% minimum allocation of their local endowment to regional startups. Number 3, leverage your procurement authority. I'm asking you to pass an efficiency rider moving forward. Zero municipal grants, city contracts, or CDBG funds may be awarded to any intermediary whose administrative overhead exceeds 15% or who utilizes funds for 501c7 social club dues. Council members, you cannot fix a municipal budget deficit while the city's economic engines are burning the fuel before it reaches the gears. Realigning these institutions requires your legislative leverages, not passive partnership. I'm happy to submit the full diagnostic brief and ordinance frameworks to your offices. It is time to execute. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Kenneth Stockert. Is Kenneth Stockert with us? If not, our next speaker is Ryan Leverett Patak.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, okay, great. My name is Ryan Leverett-Patak. I'm a Bloomfield resident, and I work downtown in one of the office buildings. Every day I either ride my bike or I take the bus to work. During last month's large snowstorm, there were multiple places where bike lanes, protected or partially protected bike lanes were completely neglected from snow removal. These bike lanes were not placed randomly. They offer a safer way for commuters like myself to navigate otherwise dangerous areas to bike through. Snow and ice piles and just snow accumulation in these bike lanes forces people on bikes back into more dangerous driving lanes if bike riders are able to use their bikes at all. Other cities dealt with this with snow and bike lanes in a variety of ways. Some cities use Bobcat 4x4s with plows that can also be used on sidewalks. Other cities have dedicated bike lane plows, and further other cities use modified tractors. I am urging the city to use some of the money that they got from UPMC to purchase really anything to plow the protected and semi-protected bike lanes throughout the city so that bike commuters and bike riders like myself can continue to safely move through our city while on our bikes. The saying goes, if you build it, they will come. Council members, you have built it, we are here, and now is the time to ensure that everybody that uses a bike can continue to safely use these bike lanes regardless of snow. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next registered speaker is Christine Bagnes. Is Christine Bagnes with us? If not, our next speaker is Dr. Ronald A. Miller.
Dr. Ronald N. Miller, Brookline and Mecca, Saudi Arabia, in the Pittsburgh City Ally Network, and Al Awali neighborhood in Mecca, Pittsburgh City Neighborhood Network, which I founded both of them in 2025, Saudi Arabia UN New York email correspondence at KSA mission-gov.net. I'm the Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2028, ACE 1448AH, that's after Hijrah. I became a member of the American Academy of Religion in the early 2000s, and within the University of Pittsburgh Department of Religious Studies, I taught modern Israel. Concerns of council include connection of religion into local government and the child. My concerns have to do with disconnection of religion in local government via Initiative 3 and the Child Initiative 4. Pittsburgh city government insinuates God, a term of religion, into its info-intel frames, especially now with Rabbi Priest Certified Intergenerational BOC O'Connor and C. O'Connor, and Biblical Infallibilist, Inerrantist Salinetro. We have a de facto, in my view, theocratic oligarchy, and I reject this. God has been added in the Pledge of Allegiance since 1954. God is consistently added in the Home Rule Charter Oath of Office, 5 January 2026, for example. God is in the inauguration prayers, 5 January 2026. God in the mayoral blessings and council proclamations and wills of council, 2010 to 26, of which I am aware. Pittsburgh City Council doesn't define God, but insinuates it into all of this. What do you mean by God? Often I am asked, do you believe in God? And my response immediately is, what do you mean by God? Some entity, some being which is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. Then where was that God of Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Christianity during the genocides of Jews by Germans, Palestinians by Israelis, Sikhs by English, Tutsis by Rwandans, indigenous by Spanish, English, and U.S. Americans? And where was the divine Jesus post-Nicaea when Roman Catholic priests and others were violating our children in this city? There is no evidence from the proclamations, no evidence from the office of mayor that there's condemnation of this.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Reverend Dale Snyder.
I represent the Hill District and I live in Staten Heights. To the Honorable Council President and Council members, I come here today representing members of my church as old as 107 years old, who never understood why the URA took their church. The city has set a precedent. The URA, the SCA, and the city conveyed 2.5 acres of land for F&B Tower Bank, and they also gave land acres to the Live Nation project for $10. If the city can do that for corporation and entertainment venues, it can do the same for a 214-year-old congregation. Through eminent domain, the URA took our church. They took 2 of our apartment buildings, and we owned the parcels next to our church. For that, they paid us $223,000. The URA had its own appraised replacement cost of our church of over $700,000. This displacement scattered 3,000-member church and uprooted a community institution. This is a new administration, and with it comes new opportunity. The URA, the SCA, and the city agreed the only way that we could get our land back was through the Penguins, which we signed an agreement with the Penguins to give Bethel land. The Penguins forfeited their development rights, and the URA now can give us our land back directly, free and clear, as agreed upon for development. The urgency of this is the tax credit application for affordable housing is due in October. We have the cost of the land to put into the pro forma. This will be a shovel-ready project and would create a win-win for the city and for the church. Bethel has a memorandum of understanding with Trek Development tied to Pittsburgh $50 million Choice Neighborhood Grant. We have invested in pre-development plans and have preliminary drawings for 125 affordable housing mixed use. We ask that the council, this administration, act with courage, with justice, and with the knowledge that Pittsburgh history and futures are watching. We don't want history to repeat itself. We have lived this story before. 40 acres and a mule. When one administration, we experience a moment of joy only for the next administration to come and break those promises. It is our hope that this administration will fulfill the commitment made by the last 2 administrations and do right by Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Bethany Cameron.
Good morning, council members. My name is Bethany Cameron. I live in Overbrook, and I'm here again with InformUp.org, a local news nonprofit which reports weekly on public meetings and includes surveys so we can represent readers' preferences back to their elected officials. The survey closed on February 23rd, and we received 73 total responses, representing all 9 council districts. Number 1, regarding storm impacts on pedestrian infrastructure and mobility, we asked residents, how much did snow and ice on sidewalks, curb cuts, or transit stops affect your ability to get around your neighborhood? About 41% said the conditions significantly affected their mobility, meaning they had to change plans or find alternate routes. 38% said travel was inconvenient but manageable, but nearly 1 in 5 said they could not leave home or reach where they needed to go. A resident from Mount Washington said, I am in a power wheelchair. I was stuck multiple times trying to cross streets due to snow pileups. A resident from the Southside Flats said, I'm 30 and able-bodied, so navigating around the snow banks at bus stops was relatively okay for me, but that would be impossible for anyone with mobility issues. It's important for the city to prioritize those who walk, take transit, and bike in addition to those who drive. And a resident from Polish Hill said, neighbor helping neighbor helped get most of the neighborhood open quickly. Out-of-town landlords are a weak spot. Number 2, on infrastructure priorities, we asked, how should Pittsburgh prioritize infrastructure spending raised from the $56 million bond? Number 1, sidewalks and pedestrian infrastructure ranked as the top priority. Preventive bridge and maintenance and reopening closed bridges followed closely second, and roads and potholes ranked in the middle. Parks and public buildings ranked lower overall. A resident from Bloomfield said, bonds cannot be used for short-term investments like filling potholes or simple sidewalk repairs. They have to be used for longer-lasting improvements, like repairing the city-county building downtown and our decaying rec centers to encourage and support more residents in the city. Great to see you today. A complete report will be sent to your offices later on. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Honey Rosenblum.
Good morning, council members. My name is Honey Rosenblum, and I work downtown. With this afternoon's ShotSpotter renewal vote, I wanted to weigh in and urge you not to spend more money and resources on ShotSpotter, which is an effective, secretive surveillance technology that does nothing to reduce the violent crime, is grossly expensive, and produces false positive reports that unnecessarily send police into communities that are already over-policed. Pittsburgh's already spent $8.3 million on ShotSpotter contracts, and we haven't seen a reduction in gun violence at all. The technology does nothing to support the trauma that victims of gun violence face in the actual aftermath of a shooting. And so why are we entertaining spending more money on the system that does little more than extend the surveillance of citizens by private company that actively makes money off of there being gun violence? A lot of other cities have canceled their contracts, including Chicago, Atlanta, Memphis, and Milwaukee, because the technology is not cost effective. In fact, contracts diverted critical resources away from legitimate uses instead of supporting the actual city. Just as the city controller's report found, the technology is just as effective as calling 911, which many other cities found and canceled their contracts. The real impact of ShotSpotter is it expands police surveillance technology that ICE can piggyback off of to harass, detain, and deport our neighbors, like Bruno Guedes da Silva, Jose Flores, and Malquim Escalante, just to name a few. In other cities, ShotSpotter has led to death and wrongful incarceration. Adam Toledo, a 13-year-old who was chased, shot, and killed by Chicago PD in response to a ShotSpotter alert, was unarmed at the time, and he was not holding a gun, and he was raising his hands at the time he was shot and killed. Michael Williams spent 11 months in Cook County Jail after the Chicago Police Department asked the ShotSpotter's parent company to change the location of a gunfire alert so they could charge him with murder. The state attorney later dropped the charges due to a lack of usable evidence, but if we renew our ShotSpotter contract, it's really only a matter of time until Pittsburgh ends up in one of these harrowing headlines. The money we use to spend on ShotSpotter would be much better utilized investing in community-based responses to gun violence. We know that gun violence is driven by poverty and systematic disinvestment in poor, Black, and brown communities. Preventing gun violence requires investment in programs that people need to thrive: educational and job opportunities, quality housing, access to mental health support, and community resources. So I reiterate, please do not vote to renew the contract this evening, as it will only lead to the enrichment of a company that profits off of gun violence, is not based in the city, and has a vested interest into increasing the problems that keep us stuck in this cycle of violence. Your job as city council persons is to ensure a livable city for Pittsburghers. Despite their marketing department's exaggerated and outright false claims, ShotSpotter does not make us more safe. invest in our communities and the various community support groups working to prevent violence in our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Bobby Fan.
Good morning. My name is Bobby Fan. I'm the former director of the Data Justice Project and currently board member of PRT. I work in the city of Pittsburgh. And I'm commenting this morning also on the ShotSpotter contract, as council has a special hearing later on the contract today. City Controller Heisler has put together a report on ShotSpotter that raises a number of questions about the system. If ShotSpotter is just as effective as 911, why is the city spending millions of public funds on the system? The data indicates that 911 calls additionally decreased after the deployment of ShotSpotter. When you look at the response times for ShotSpotter, the response times are compared to 911 calls, and both response times are increasing. But it is curious why ShotSpotter response is so much quicker than 911 when both are being reported to the same real-time crime analysis center. When you look at 2022, 911 response time, report to dispatch was 5 minutes, report to route was 7 minutes. The time from dispatch en route to, from dispatch to en route was a very long period of not 2 minutes, while for ShotSpotter, this difference was less than 30 seconds, suggesting that either Pittsburgh police are vastly prioritizing ShotSpotter alerts over 911 calls, or there's a serious issue with the Pittsburgh's dispatch system. Officers going into the neighborhoods where ShotSpotter has been installed, which are predominantly black neighborhoods of Pittsburgh, are going in with no context except the idea that a gun has been fired, with many documented accounts of ShotSpotter alerts corresponding to everything from roofing work, gas explosions, tires, balloons, plastic soda bottles popping. The likelihood that police are going into a neighborhood on a false alarm is far higher than with a 911 call. This escalates the risk of heightened police response, as we've seen in other cities, due to deaths, due to police responses to ShotSpotter, such as with a 13-year-old boy, Adam Toledo, in Chicago. What's more worrying is that the company has been known to declassify acoustics to match requests from police, who they are naturally willing to do as their clients. This has resulted in the wrongful imprisonment of people like Michael Williams, where ShotSpotter alert for fireworks was reclassified and its location changed to put him behind bars. This use of ShotSpotter data as core evidence is common practice and gives police license to retroactively justify actions through a company that is conveniently listening and recording all sounds, that uses faulty machine learning to classify those sounds and freely reclassifies them on request of police. This type of corrupt business partnership with zero accountability measures and total potential for abuse is paid for by the city and its taxpayers. The city is already too strapped for funds to salt its roads or dedicate efforts to a comprehensive plan. Does it make sense to spend increasing millions of dollars for 5 more years or longer on a technology that is just as effective as 911 and maybe deprioritizing those response times and by extension the use of 911 itself?
Thank you very much. Our next speaker and our last registered speaker is Courtney Meadows.
Good morning, Council. My name is Courtney Meadows. I'm a resident of the Historic Hill District, pastor of the Central Baptist Church, and president and CEO of the Central New Development Corporation. My wife and I have been honored to call the Hill District home for over a year now, and we are deeply invested, not just spiritually, but civically and economically, in the flourishing of our community. I was born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm a proud son of the South, and I understand the historic and systemic struggles faced by persons of color, indigenous communities, immigrants, and many others who have too often been pushed to the margins. And while those stories are often associated with the South, we know they are not confined to the South. And so as we conclude the observance of this Black History Month, my hope is that it will be more than just a ceremonial remembrance. I hope it becomes catalytic, a moment where we leverage not only memory, but understand the importance of our power, where we use our seats of influence and our positions of leadership to ensure that equity, housing, economic opportunity, public safety, and youth investment are not simply aspirations, but lived realities in neighborhoods like the Hill District. Central will celebrate 135 years of ministry this year. We've stood through redevelopment and displacement and cultural shifts and generational change. And so I stand here honoring the legacy of my predecessors like Reverend Cornell Talley and Isaac Green and Victor Grigsby. And I honor the work that so many like Reverend Snyder are doing in the community, who understand that the church is not just a worship center, but it is a witness center and a strategy center. And so I ask you to please remember the Hill District, remember its history, remember its resilience. I ask you to remember amongst efforts to dismember its economic, educational, and cultural and communal potential. And so we are here to partner. Central Baptist and Central New Development Corporation, we stand ready to collaborate on workforce development, affordable housing, youth mentorship, violence prevention, and wherever we can find initiatives of common good. I'm genuinely excited about the opportunity to meet and work with each of you and collaborate alongside the new administration. This is a fresh opportunity for fresh alignment. Know that the faith community is praying with and for you, but remember, leadership requires courage, collaboration, conviction, partnership, action, and we are ready and willing to partner with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And now our actual last speaker is Ikahana Halmalkina.
Greetings and good day. My title is Chief Ikahana Halmalkina. I'm the Grand Ink of the Iroquois Confederacy of Aboriginal American People. And I also would like to vote no for ShotSpotter, for it is a reactionary tool, not preventative. Invest in proactive programming for our community instead of spending money on surveillance. I also like to talk about the racial tension is at an all-time high all across the globe. Americans have been asked to shelter in place throughout Tenochtitlan, also known as Mexico today. From Puerto Juana to Tijuana, their cities are under siege, all because the United States decided to provide key intelligence to aid in the killing and execution of an illegal, alleged, notorious drug kingpin, putting countless Americans in harm's way without warning. Could you imagine being caught in such chaos? Something more must be done to protect innocent lives from such egregious action. My suggestion is that local government agencies pressure state and federal agencies to issue travel advisories. Yeah, you might be saying this already happened, but it didn't. The U.S. Department of State is responsible for such warnings and failed to get a warning out in a timely manner. This is unacceptable. I recently canceled my daughter's trip to Costa Rica due to the rising tensions in the area. Unfortunately, some parents aren't as woke as I am, and they find themselves in a similar situation if more isn't done to protect them with advance notice and travel advisory. The other alarming matter I wish to bring to your attention concerning parking. Councilman Bobby Wilson sits on the Parking Authority Board. I can't believe you allowed the board to raise the fees for parking. What justification do you have for such an increase? Parking has gone from $25 to $40 and now $60 fine downtown, and it's unacceptable. What and where is all the money going that you've raised for these parking wars? It's a nightmare. And if you don't have a credit card, you are surely not welcome to park downtown, or you'll get one of those $60 tickets. 24-hour parking on the south side, given by unreliable cameras in parking spaces. More must be done. This is not New York, and nor do we want it to become New York. New York is overpopulated, overtaxed, and oversurveilled, and underrepresented, and we don't want that for our town. Whose interests are you representing? You have a fiduciary responsibility to the people of this city. nowhere in the Constitution.
Thank you very much. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. If there's anyone in chambers wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. Provide your name and neighborhood for the record.
Carlino Giampolo, Panther Hollow. This is my 18th testimony before City Council with the intention to bring to light the illegal skate park issue in Panther Hollow, to provide council members with a clear understanding of why the illegal skate park must be shut down, and to heal our community. Previous testimonies are on the website, pantherhollowplayground.com. Our community is very grateful that 7 of the 9 council members have not publicly supported the illegal skate park. My comments today are directed to council members Barbara Warwick and Bob Charlin, who have publicly supported it and are the faces and voices of the skateboarders for the city. Councilmember Warwick already has multiple playgrounds in our neighborhood in the Run in Greenfield, and Councilmember Charlin has said that he would welcome a skate park next to his home. Why then has neither of them attempted to build a do-it-yourself skate park in their own neighborhoods? Could the answer be that they are fully aware that none of their longtime residents or homeowners would actually support such an action? In my very first testimony, I discussed the need to awaken your dignity and to end this injustice against our community. Each person has their own concept of dignity, and I shared mine with its 7 components. However, one component is universal: a person's principles. I had discussed integrity, which is spontaneous and habitual honesty. On October 9th, 2025, I asked Councilmember Warwick, who authorized the skateboarders to build the skate park in Panther Hollow? She has since continued to choose silence. Councilmember Charlin has also never answered that question. In the spirit of integrity, I will now ask the council members another easy question to which they already know the answer. Which longtime residents or homeowners in Panther Hollow have told you that they support the skate park? I would define a longtime resident as one who has lived in Panther Hollow for at least 10 years. Please provide the answer by the end of today in an email to me with CCs to your fellow council members. However, if you do not know of any longtime resident or homeowner, please make that known in an email as well. I will provide your answers to Mayor Corey O'Connor and the appropriate administrators for this issue. Please put your integrity into action. Please put your integrity into action. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. I see why y'all made my mom the way she is. Y'all already start the meeting late and you sit and talk while someone's speaking. Y'all get paid to listen to people speak. Because she's not hearing your face, you sit there and talk to him. Like, that was rude. You could talk after or before. Y'all already start the meeting late. So let me start with my speech. My name is Unique Brown. I'm a domestic violence survivor. And I'm gonna calm down because I might be scaring some of y'all, because I know that, we can't be too emotional about stuff. But anyway, I'm a domestic violence survivor. And before I say anything else, I need you to understand how much it costs a woman like me to stand up here over and over again with no answers. When you survive abuse, you don't just walk away with memories. You walk away with fear that lives in your body. You walk away with a voice that is silenced so many times, you almost forget how to use it. You're told you're lying. You're told you're dramatic. You're told no one's gonna believe you. When I finally escaped it, when I finally reached out for help from the Women's Center and Shelter, the CEO gave me a lot of runaround. She acted like it was help, but it hurted me and my kids even more. And when I wanted to file a grievance, she said, call the director's action line. I called them, which I know is only going to be a complaint, and then they read back what she had to say to me. So I made her another email and said, I need to go internally with this. But what she told the director's action line is just, she said that I made a TikTok naming their shelter and the location and residents in the shelter. Never gave a screenshot, never gave proof, just her words against mine, and I proved I have a TikTok. I don't use it. I don't have any videos. I never posted a video. Why is it okay for her to lie like that just to shut me up because she didn't help me the way she was supposed to? And there's nobody that can do nothing about it. Really? I went to county council and they didn't do anything. She told me she could get me to talk to DHS. I haven't heard anything from anyone. So I'll be at county council looking like my mother at Bethany Harlem the whole time because I didn't sign up to speak. But she gonna film me sitting there because it don't make no sense. I'm a little tiny black dot. Why is it so hard for y'all to erase me? Why is it so easy? Why? I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Lord. Special Agent Sunshine, the missing child, Cerise Taylor. Lord, I want to truly live, to experience your abundant joy, not trudge down predictable roads or strive for short-sighted goals. Help me to pause, breathe deeply, and fill my soul with the overwhelming delight that comes from knowing you. Help me become radiant, the person you created me to be, as I walk in your light. In Jesus' name, amen. The wisdom for today comes from Proverbs chapter 6, verse 30 through 31. Excuses might be found for a thief who steals because he is starving. But if he's caught, he must pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he has to sell everything in his house. You're yawning, Lavelle? Identity theft fraud, Lavelle. That's the theft I'm talking about. Insurance fraud, computer fraud, Lavelle. You're on every board, blocking people's communication, stealing, they're paying people to steal their mail so they don't show up for court. Really? You think you're invisible, I promise you you're not. Peekaboo, we see you now. I promise you we do. And everybody you're attached to. I curse to death every voodoo practitioner in the world, every witch, wizard, and warlock in this building, in the world. I curse you to death, you and your bloodlines. Keep lighting them candles and doing voodoo. Death rituals. You still paying people to take me out, Lavelle? Y'all, it's money on my head, y'all. It's money, right now, somebody's out there waiting to take me out. They paying the highest bidder. Do I look invisible, Lavelle? Do I look scared? No, I'm not. I don't live in fear. I will never live in fear. Ever. Thank you, Martin Luther King, Jr., for this quote. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. Not just in this nation, all humanity, Lavelle. Donald Trump, if I'm not from this country, why you hold me hostage? I have all humanity to spread this message to. You cannot keep me here. In Jesus' name, I will continue to pray to be removed. Jeremiah 49:36 says, I will bring against Elam the 4 winds, quarters of heaven. I will scatter them to the 4 winds, and there will not be a nation whose Elam's exiles do not go. There is no nation. I will not go. I'm an exile. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no further speakers, we'll move on to the presentation of papers, beginning with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources. Thank you. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology. I believe she has one paper.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 175, Resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of Levy Convention Centers, aka Levy Premium Food Service, in the amount of $9,077.40 to pay for costs incurred for cyber training security.
I believe at the request of the administration, there is a request to waive Rule 8. Councilwoman Gross, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to waive Rule 8 to the standing, vote to return to our standing committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill, what's that? 175 will be on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. That takes us to Councilman Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill Number 176, Resolution amending Resolution 37 of 2026, which authorized a cooperation agreement or agreements with the City of Pittsburgh Equipment Leasing Authority for the purchase and leasing of vehicles, equipment and accessories, equipment support infrastructure, and professional services in fiscal year 2026 by increasing the authorized amount by $1 million to a new total of $28,188,019 for additional items to be added to the plan. And Bill Number 177, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement or agreements with Pittsburgh Water to allow Pittsburgh Water access to city property in Southside Park in order to maintain the stormwater ARC tanks in the park for the Phase 1 of the city's Southside Park project at no cost to the city.
And that moves us to Councilwoman Salanetro, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Councilwoman Salanetro presents Bill Number 178, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works and/or the director of the Department of Finance to enter into an agreement or agreements and/or leases with Three Rivers Waterkeeper for stewardship over the Island Marina by 3RWK at an annual fee of $1 for a period of 5 years with a 5-year option to renew. And Bill 179, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a supplemental agreement or agreements with A. Liberoni, Inc. for costs associated with construction for the Sylvan Avenue Multimodal Path Project, providing for the payment of the cost thereof not to exceed $1,732,504.13, a net increase of $86,733.76, reimbursable at various rates.
And Councilwoman Salanetro, I also see there's a request to waive Rule 8 on Bill 179. Do you wish to make that motion?
Yes, I wish to make a motion to create or waive Rule 8 so that it appears on tomorrow's agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill 179 will be on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. That moves us to Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Warwick, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill Number 180, Resolution authorizing council's consent to an extension pursuant to 92205D of the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances of the deadline for the Planning Commission to act on Council Bill 2025-2250.
This is a final vote on an extension, so we'll need a roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Charland?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross? Mr. Mosley? Mrs. Salanetro?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
That was Mosley.
Okay. Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. And I have 5. If we could first do the appointment requiring a vote.
Council President Lavelle presents Bill number 181, resolution appointing Chelsea Arthur Suckup as a member of the Public Art Committee of the Public Art and Civic Design Commission for a term concurrent with that of the mayor.
So we need either a motion to interview or to approve.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The appointment has been approved. Now we have 3 informing appointments.
Bill 182, resolution informing City Council of the reappointment of Anthony Coghill as a member of the Board of Directors of the Sports and Exhibition Authority for a term to expire January 1st, 2030. Bill 183, resolution informing City Council of the appointment of Jacob Williamson as a member of the Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission for a term concurrent with that of the mayor. And Bill 184, resolution informing City Council of the appointment of Tom Joyce as a member of the Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission for a term concurrent with that of the mayor.
Need a motion to read, receive, and file?
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion to read, receive, and file.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All 3 appointments have been read, received, and filed. And last is a communication.
Bill 185, communication from Rhea Price, Acting Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting to City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended February 20th, 2026.
Also need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So moved.
Need a second. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Communication have been read, received, and filed. We'll now move on to unfinished business.
Bill 19, resolution appointing Eric Sloan as the Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation.
Need a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The appointment has been approved. Our next order of business is reports of committee for final action, beginning with Councilperson Erica Strasburger, presenting the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill number 169, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for February 18th, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 105, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable to Clio Consulting in full and final payment for the remaining costs for a historic survey of the Beachview District in an amount not to exceed $5,000 over 1 year. Bill 106, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of a single payment in 2026 to Benjamin Mayhew and his attorneys, Philip Frotshell LLC, at a cost not to exceed $60,000 in full and final settlement of litigation in the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas. Bill 107, resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement with the law firm of Fisher Phillips LLP in connection with issues involving labor disputes at a cost not to exceed $60,000 over 6 months. Bill 108, resolution amending Resolution 130 of 2025, which amended Resolution 603 of 2024 by authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement with the law firm of Fisher Phillips LLP in connection with issues involving labor disputes by increasing the approved amount by $275,400 for a new amended total cost not to exceed $485,400 over 2 years. And Bill number 111, resolution to authorize and direct the incurring of non-electoral debt through the issuance of a series of general obligation bonds of the City of Pittsburgh in the maximum aggregate principal amount of $56,020,000.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Salanetro.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilman Anthony Coghill, presenting the Committee of Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill Number 170, reported to Committee on Public Safety and Wellness for February 18, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 95, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, and the director of the Department of Public Safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Office of the State Fire Commissioner for the purpose of receiving grant funds from the Fire Company and Emergency Medical Services Grant in the amount not to exceed $20,000 to purchase trauma bags. And Bill 96, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of Office of Management and Budget, and the director of the Department of Public Safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Office of the State Fire Commissioner for the purpose of receiving grant funds from the Fire Company and Emergency Medical Services Grant in the amount of $9,336 for training and certification of its members.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross. Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Salanetro.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye, aye, aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legally required numbers of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilwoman Kim Salanetro, presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Councilwoman Salanetro presents Bill Number 171, reported to Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for February 18, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 102, resolution providing for an amended reimbursement agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary engineering, final design, right-of-way, and construction phases of the Smithfield Street reconstruction project, and providing for the payment of the costs thereof not to exceed $9,890,000, an increase of $620,000 from the previous resolution, reimbursable at 80%, and the municipal share of Commonwealth incurred costs not to exceed $45,000, a $2,000 decrease from the previous resolution. Bill 103, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a supplemental agreement or agreements with CDR McGuire, Inc. for project design management services and reviews in connection with various City of Pittsburgh projects to add funding for the preliminary engineering and final design phases, increasing the total not to exceed amount to $4,064,876.91, an increase of $1,266,407.21 from the previously authorized agreement, reimbursable at various rates depending on the project. Bill 104, resolution amending Resolution 634 of 2025, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement or agreements with Land Force to conduct urban forestry programming in an amount not to exceed $50,000 over a period of 4 years for a new not to exceed amount of $465,500 over a period of 4 years.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Salanetro.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legal required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to Councilman Bobby Wilson, presenting the Committee of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill Number 172, reported to Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for February 18, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 2025-2385, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title 9 Zoning Code, Article 5, Use Regulations, Chapter 911, Primary Uses, to add a definition for waste transfer station and standards associated with the use.
You've heard the reading and entire of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when it is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Aye. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Salanetro.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received legal required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilwoman Deborah Gross, presenting the Committee of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 173, reported to Committee on Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management and Technology for February 18, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 97, resolution amending Resolution 147 of 2025, which added funding for maintenance services related to the Falcon Red document scanning station by authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Finance to extend the agreement with OPEX Corporation for equipment, maintenance services, and associated software licenses at a cost not to exceed $28,015 for a new total not to exceed $164,686.
You have heard the reading and entire of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Aye. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Salanetro.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. And finally, Councilman Kari Mosley, presenting the Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill Number 174, reported to Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for February 18, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 98, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of Office of Management and Budget, and the Department of Public Safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Department of Homeland Security for the purpose of receiving grant funds for the purpose from Assistance to Firefighters Grant in an amount not to exceed $958,712.72 for fire apparatuses vehicle training. The grant requires a match from the City of Pittsburgh in an amount not to exceed $95,871.28 for this stated purpose, for a total cost not to exceed $1,054,584. Bill 99, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, and the Department of Public Safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Department of Homeland Security for the purpose of receiving grant funds from the Port Security Grant Program in an amount not to exceed $96,931 for the purchase of protective vehicle barriers for waterslide events. The grant requires a match from the City of Pittsburgh in an amount not to exceed $32,310 for this stated purpose, for a total project not to exceed $129,241. Bill 100, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 7872 through 7874 Susquehanna Street at no cost to the city. And Bill 101, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 179 Steuben Street, 20th Ward, at no cost to the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when your name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Salanetro.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to motions and resolutions. Anything from members? If not, our meeting announcements. This afternoon at 2:30, council will hold a Cablecast post-agenda discussion on ShotSpotter, which is chaired by Councilwoman Barbara Ward. Tomorrow, Wednesday, February 25th, council will hold our standing committee meeting. Speaker registration will close at 9 a.m. To register to speak at this meeting, please fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage or call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. With that, I need a motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.